Mummy, there's no plane up in the sky.
Okay guys, so let's just quickly go over a few things. Okay, so I'm going to try to go over a few things that I sometimes go over through different readings. Okay, so you really need to watch the one about soulmate stuff that I also put on. That's nothing to do with your star sign. It's kind of this kind of approach of teaching and all that kind of jazz, if you like. Okay, so if we go back to how we was looking at the great source of one energy of sacrifice, okay, as how Lucifer was sacrificed, ran from responsibility, turned everything out of control, okay, created numbers, time, explosion, okay, the great sacrifice of one energy. God was source, split himself into billions of different souls, okay, of dark and light, everything, bang, explosion, there we go. So this is pretty much how I see time. This is how I see everything. Now this is where this is going to really relate to getting lost, okay, because when you start to look at a clock face and you see it like this, that can be extremely dangerous, you know, because you leave yourself open for also spiritual attack, and you also leave yourself open for illusion, very much so, very much so. So what I kind of wanted to go over first was about soulmates. So when we look at the great sacrifice of our energy, okay, our energy and our energy source, our light source of 7 of what we went over with, okay, the sacrifice of 7, 8, also 8, universal energy, and also the magician, okay, but then 7 that runs through your body, 7 days of the week, 7 chakras, everything, alignment of yourself, okay, the separation of yourself, completely pulling yourself together to be in alignment, okay. So we've kind of gone over that. So the most important thing that what people sacrifice is obviously themselves, right, is themselves. So this is what I was trying to make a point across, is that when you feel such that magnetic attraction towards what you think is the one, because you're looking outwardly, but you're also looking inwardly, okay, because this is you as well as this is you. This is the ego, but this is you, and this is your belief of what it is that you're trying to find, which is the one, okay? Well, this is the one. Not just this is the point of call of where we're also headed, okay? We're headed here, So you cannot believe in, well, there's just one soulmate and that's the one and that's my twin flame. It's not real. It's really not real. Because if you think and believe for 1 second that all these souls that were sacrificed into billions of pieces, that you just have one, that you just have the one here is where you're headed and where you're going, which is you. It's you. It's not anybody else. I don't believe in the perfect match. I believe in the spark that created it, the bright spark that created it. You. You're the greatest source of energy of you. You can create anything that you want to do with your creative field or the creative self of you, because you're the bright spark. You're the spark. So what we'll go into is masculine and feminine. Okay. So a lot of people get confused with what the masculine is and where the feminine is, and who are they and who am I, and fuck, I mean, this is where you get lost, because when you're literally living in source, okay, you see things as this, okay, you do, and this is where it's dangerous, because what you seem to forget is reality, because this is also reality, but this is also source. Now when you start to awaken and you start to have spiritual awakenings, when you've had so many, somebody also commented and said, no, you only have one. No, you don't. You have many. 7 is, well, it's my life path number, but 7 is the awakening. Okay, you can have many. You can have low down awakenings. I've had, I can't even remember, 50 nearly now. I had one the other day. You know when it is. But when you have these awakenings and you become so spiritually open, in order to be a guide, this is why it's so difficult. 444 on the clock. Because you live for that feeling, because it's like heaven. This is 10, right? This is 10. The 10 of cups. Okay? The 10 of pentacles. Okay? The 10 of wands that should be dropped. The 10 of swords. It's endings as beginnings, as fresh start. Okay? It all starts from the start of where you're trying to think that you're headed, but you're headed here. This is the one. It's you. It's nobody else. There's billions of souls outside of this one circle. This is heaven, okay? Looking outwardly. So when you are connected with Source, you're going to start to really live in fantasy and illusion, especially when you're so spiritually awakened, because all you're going to do is you're going to think, this is where I come up with my creative self and my creative ability. This is where it's a help and also a hindrance, because it gives me great clarity and it gives me great vision of one energy, of one source of where then I can start to use this as teaching implements and try to get people to hopefully see a different picture. Okay, the picture of you. The picture of you. Okay, gravity. So you see, because you are what you eat, you are what you see, and you are what you feel, because it is you. Okay, so if what you are feeling is confused, well, you're going to be confused, and this is where you're going to start to fight, because you will only also fight yourself. But what you're doing is that you're going to be literally unsure, because you're headed. Your karmic walk is everything. Okay, well, all mine of my destined walk is fixed. They're all the fixed signs, okay? All of them are fixed. So it's been so difficult to me to learn to drop things, because they're all stuck in their way, all of them, okay? That's my Wheel of Fortune. But when you're constantly living in this one source, this is why you can feel so down, because you come down like a ton of bricks. Like people, people, they come down on you like a ton of bricks. This is why you can't fight energy. You know what I was saying about you have a dark side and a light side, light side of yourself, but you have a negative reaction and a positive reaction, okay? Literally through your whole body, your meridian system and your arms and your feet, your legs, everything. Negative, positive, okay? Of you, of all of us. This is why we fight, this is why we flight, this is why we do so many different things when you start to really look into one energy. So when you're looking out this way, say like looking out this way, and you broader a spectrum, the fact that, okay, I'm living here, I'm basically in fantasy and illusion, but this is how I connect with people, okay, source, okay, and everybody as one energy, where I can start to relate as one source, okay? So you're going to then start getting your gifts come through, but the more you start to broaden, you start here, say, because you can start, but you're starting here from heaven, okay? You're reincarnated, but you're starting from here, you're young, and then as you start to hopefully become in alignment with where you are, if you start to spiritually awaken, you start to do that, okay? You start to do that. And it gets bigger, it expands, okay? It expands, a bit like your palms and the you know, when you do palm reading, okay? So it expands. So then what you do is you're pretty much living on the outer rims of reality, okay? But you're still always concentrated on this one energy source of where it's expanded. So your mind here grows outwardly here, and you start to see time and people just like this. The hands of a clock and the hands and the face of everything just seems to be like one person, because this is energy. This is like breaking down the ego to realize that people are literally just an energy source of a soul, okay? So when you look at this as a time clock, there would actually not be any physical lines here, because they were just painted on by someone that made the clock. You know, that's metaphysics. It doesn't physically exist because we've spent so much time looking at that our whole lives of what we see to be believed to be real, or what we think is real, because we're looking at it. Because it doesn't physically exist. You know, it does, but that's how our intuition, your intuition grows and expands, okay? Because this is your stomach and everything. This is you, us, all of us. So this is how you start to see time. You start to lose time reality. You start to lose yourself, okay? You really do. You start to lose grips of reality. You can start to really live in illusion and really start to live in like a fantasy kind of world. 10:10 on the clock. You know, you do. Because it's a 10. You live on the outer boundaries because your mind has expanded so much, because that's how you have a gift of one energy, a gift. So you can then relate, and then, well, I mean, we relate, co-create, procreate, you know, because that's what we're here for. We're here for one energy of love, to understand it about ourselves, here. So you're only headed here. This is where you're headed here, okay? So when you're constantly thinking here, what you're doing is you're just connecting to the feeling of Dionysus, of heaven. They're giving you a gift, but they're also giving you a gift to say, do not give up your life, because you physically are here. You physically are here as a human being, but your gift of an energy source and what we can help you hear and see, not see through your eyes, see through your vision, we can help you then see fucking dead people, probably. You know, you don't see, well, some people may be able to, but you see them, hear them. You know, they're a bit like shadow kind of people, I suppose. You know, the more you spiritually awaken, that you can start to then, this is where people start to hitchhike their way from your energy, because once this is stolen, this is why we have the seven, you know, the 7 of the 5 and the 7 and all that kind of stuff, and devious behaviour, because you only deceive yourself, okay? And this is why people think, oh no, that's my twin, because I'm myself and they're mirroring me and they're mirroring. No, we mirror everybody. We mirror everybody. We mirror them, okay? So, and this is the ship that you're in. We're all in the same ship. We're all trying to understand, well, what the fuck is this? You know, who am I in all this? Because half the time I wonder whether I'm actually really here. Because I live outside of here all the time in order to be able to create. But I also give up my life to sacrifice, of where this is also sacrifice. Okay? So when you start to look at this, okay, let's put the light on. When you start to look at this, like the sacrifice, so this is like Lucifer, okay, and this is the darkness, and this is the ego, and this is the outer rims of reality in the dark, and this is daytime, and this is nighttime, this is yes, this is no, okay. When you look at this as a predatorial energy, this is where it needs to change, okay, but you have to know about narcissism, you have to know that about control and conflict. Because everybody's different. We all know that different star signs and people's conditioning, it really doesn't matter, because everybody, like I've said, I know loads of Pisces that are extremely manipulative and controlling, and still are and still have been, okay? But we're not all perfect. We're really not. I have flaws. Trust me, I have loads of flaws. You know, it doesn't matter how much you try, you still feel like you're not actually getting anywhere, you know, because you're living here also. But if you look at this as the outer verses of bad, and it circles its prey, and like, this is why you think, well, someone's spying on my energy. I feel it because I'm open, because you have to be open to receive a gift for you or them, because their gift would be something that happens bad with them. That's karma, okay? That's karma. That's learning, okay? So, because you have to be open. This is opportunity of the Ace of Pentacles, and there's a door there that is open as an opportunity, right? Same as a mall. But, so then you're looking at this as the fact that, well, why do I feel spiritually trapped? Why is my intuition telling me that people are spying or thinking or feeling or doing or or whatever. Okay, so this is where stuff can get really complex and strange, and I've done videos on this, but I've deleted them from years ago on my old channel, but I'm kind of recreating them here now. Okay, so this energy starts to form here. Now, through my old karmic situation, I'm really going to start to just forget, because I'm not bothered about that, but I'm trying to give you kind of what happened to me, you know, just to help you, you know. But my first karmic situation was cerebral narcissism. So you can look at this as like a brain, okay? It was an energy that never spoke at all, okay? And I went through it myself, and I felt, like I've said through a lot of it, very strongly about this one person for 5 years, you know, very much so. And I could not get her off my mind. Could not, it doesn't matter how much I tried. It just would not go away. It would not go away, okay? So I ended up in straight illusion and fantasy. Straight illusion and fantasy, thinking, well, fuck, is this my fault? Am I literally going nuts? The fact that there's someone not even in my life, but they've been in my life for a certain period of time, but it took a long time, years, where we've not spoken, they've been in relationships and stuff, but we're not, and it just got so confusing. Then it led to spying on my old channel. You know, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, it really doesn't. But, because I ended up sacrificing, so we'll go into that, okay? But cerebral narcissism is the most hardest to actually pinpoint. Because if you look into that, it's on Google, cerebral narcissism, it's terrible. Because they don't never tell you, you never find out, you know. And I never had after 5 to 6 years. I just thought I was going through it myself. You know, I had to deal with it myself. I didn't sleep for 5 years, you know. But anyway, let's get off me. So, if you look at this as like the predatorial energy of cerebral narcissism, or any kind of narcissism, or anything like that, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. Because you have to learn to let it go. You have to realise that you still played a part in it as one energy of you as everybody else. Right? Everybody's different. But an energy has to, when it starts to come from the darkness, okay, the darkness, this is why it can take a long goddamn time, you know, sorry, excuse me. But when it starts to enter here, you're the sacrificial lamb here. Now, for a start, when it starts to enter here, you'll sacrifice yourself all day long, okay? Because you're the small cycle here that's not really growing yet, okay? This is if you're relating to your soulmate, twin flame kind of stuff, the belief and the, wow, my God, everybody's telling me about this twin flame thing and they are me, and we feel it so strong, and I'm just going to spend fucking 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years on this one belief that there is just one. No, it's bullshit. There isn't. Well, it's not in my vocabulary anyway. And you can if you want. You don't have to believe me, okay? You don't have to believe me. But when you come here, when you're first starting, you'll realise that this energy comes in, but it doesn't change. But neither do you. You're still the sacrificial lamb of the sheep, right? This is the predatorial energy, and it comes in and it takes and it steals something from your fence. So if you're a sheep in a fence here, climbs over the fence and it takes something and it goes away, and you think, what the fuck? And you feel drained to shit. Well, this is your soul here. Someone's took an essence of your soul, and you feel completely and utterly drained and absolutely, what on earth has happened? So if you look at this as your soul, when an essence of this is taken, of light, how do you think that feels? How do you think that feels of your energy? Look at it as energy, not within, wow, I feel powerful. No. Within your energy of light, here, without this dark, when that's taken, how do you feel? You have to get over it, right? So you have to rebuild and regenerate yourself. The tower, 7. You rebuild your light, okay? So this is how you get rid of people that proper are karmic leeches and narcissism, is that you shine bright as you can. You know, don't give in to temptation, because people have to see your light as light, and if they don't, they go towards the dark. That's just the way it is, you know. But we'll get on towards that towards the end, okay? But at the beginning of of things, because I need to start to also relate to people that also start to go through the beginning stages of these soulmate kind of relationships. or feelings, or metaphysical or physical, because we still have metaphysical where you can't get them off your bloody mind, you know, because that's what, trust me, you know, let's get off it. So when this first starts to enter here, it takes something of an essence of your soul, okay? And then you go away, say if you meet at work or anywhere like that, okay, you separate for the day and then you go back, bang, it takes more, bosh, gone. Oh shit. Rebuild myself. At the beginning, you'll feel more drained than you do powerful or anything, okay? Because your mind is not yet expanded into one vision, okay? One dream, one goal. So then all of a sudden, after a period of time, okay, the ripple of water starts to expand like that, and you start to feel a whirlpool of emotion, and you start to have outbursts like we went over with conditioning of the cup. Okay, you have outbursts, bah, like that, destiny, you know, everything that's built up and suppressed, you have an outburst of an emotion of negative, positive, or whichever way around you hold it, it doesn't matter, okay, positive, negative, the same thing, okay, suppressing two energies down of positive and negative are going to suppress and cause a fucking nuclear explosion. A nuclear explosion within you, right? So you're like an atom bomb, you know, an atom bomb. So this is why it's so important to realise about bad energy and good energy, how it's felt. Because if it's felt as bad, then it's bad, you know. A yes answer is a yes answer, and a no answer is a no answer. And so say like you've offered once and someone says no, well that's an answer. But when you're really feeling that strong kind of pull, you're going to ask again and again and again, or whichever way it plays around in your situation, separating and avoiding of, well, this is fucking not working, bruv, you know, because fuck me, we're going like left, right, I don't know my head from my ass, because are you not, you know, you get confused, so you have an outburst of the explosion, okay? So this is why you need to find alignment of the person that you're going to be with is aligning themselves with your true energy of light. Because the dark will always scurry back to the dark. This is why you will constantly form separation and coming back together, and separation and coming back together, you know, because you're still thinking, well, this is the one, this is the one. We're so connected karmically here. This has got to be the one. No, there are billions of them, billions of soulmates, okay? So when it starts to come here, after a while, say you be the feminine, and what we're trying to get back to, which is the feminine and masculine, you start off as a feminine, okay? And the masculine, so to speak, because a masculine is not a masculine without action, and the one that actually takes true lead, not false lead, that's a false prophet or a false belief of what you're thinking as a masculine. A true masculine, right, is someone that not forces but gives things equally, give and take. It doesn't cause that all the time. That's just to build you up of your feminine and masculine to meet the one that you're supposed to be with in the end, okay? So a true masculine is one that takes lead, but honestly, but also firmly and strictly, but also giving, caring, sharing, giving, caring, sharing, thoughtfulness, caringness, lovingness. That's a masculine, and also a feminine, okay? Not someone where you're just unsure to shit and you go round and round in circles like a teddy bear, one step, two step, here we go again, okay? Like children, nursery rhymes, all that kind of stuff, tickly under there, okay? So, because you get tickles down your arm and your sensations of your body, right? But after a while, that when this predatorial energy has caused so much confusion, and you've done this so many times in your ship, because this is your ship, you've got to be in a relationship, or the ship, because you're with someone without them, with them without them, with them without them, with or without you, with or without you. So after a while, you kind of think, bruv, this is fucking draining me to shit, right? So as it comes in, it's like, I am now got my plan of what I'm going to do again, okay, pretty much, okay, within my ego self and my ego destruction, okay, I'm going to come in and I'm going to steal and I'm going to take something, okay. So after a while it realizes, well, it has to start to open itself from being also a sheep, because the sheep is the wolf and the wolf is the sheep. But it's predatorial, it's unseen, you can't see it and you don't know, because it appears itself as a sheep, you know. Oh, hello, you know, or whatever they do, the lie, manipulation, or whatever, the fallingness of the separation, pretty much, okay. So it starts to enter here, but after a while it starts to realise, okay, well, I need to unravel my mask and my cloak of who I am, okay. And then as I come here, I need to open up in order to pounce and grab your energy, okay? But after a while, you suddenly start to realise that this is no longer a sacrificial lamb. This is actually the alpha male. You are the alpha male, okay? You are the alpha male. So then pretty much what kind of happens, and I'm trying to talk loud because my dog's just barking at his shadow again. Okay, so pretty much what happens then... Pretty much what happens then is that when it starts to enter the shape here, it has to transform. But this is why you're constantly doing the separating and everything of that energy, because you're trying to crack the conditioning. But you have to start to look at the ship you've been in is the ship that's destroyed. Okay, that's destroyed. But you still have a free will choice to keep doing that for as long as you like, because it's your ego. It's your ego. You'll constantly believe and want and feel and need. If you're still in want, need and feeling everything else, then you're codependent. And we're all codependent in certain ways, but we learn to become independent. That's what it's for. You become more independent as you grow up, but you also become independent as your soul grows up. You know, the soul grows first and the mind has to catch up. The soul grows, but the mind has to catch up, because the soul learns first and then the ego gets separated. As your soul starts to learn, it pushes outwardly to the ego as a tower moment of 7, where it explodes and gives you the awakening in order for it to break down the separation of the darkness of the ego that's created within yourself. But all of us. So everyone can go on their timeline. Their timelines, I've been channeling through most of this. Okay, so for their timeline is different to everybody's timeline, because this goes off into obviously patterns of people and the world and this is like the world, man. You know, so you need to be in alignment truly with the person that you're in alignment with. Now, when you start to shine brightly, this is where you can feel, oh no, well, I really want you to just, you know, well, it's not. They have to see you as a true, valuable, respectable person of who you are. You can't shy away from the gifts that you have, but you have to also come back to reality too, to build yourself up, okay? But the darkness will only ever really truly see darkness. It will, okay? That's why it's death and rebirth, okay? But when it starts to enter here, you have to find alignment, because it's like, because your ego can start to tell you, well, I need to lower my standards, or not standards, but I need to lower my capability of my life in order for someone to see me down here. Because when I start to sacrifice down here, they'll see me for their kind of vibration-ish, okay? I need to not be as good as I am in order to go down to them just so they want me and they feel for me and they want to see me and they want to be with me, you know, the codependent parts, okay? So then when you start to come up here, sometimes you start to fear, okay? Obviously fear grows, okay? Grows. So then we feel, okay, well, they're not actually coming back. They're not actually coming back. Sorry. They're not actually coming back. So, that so distracts me when they know I'm making a video. Okay, so they're not actually coming back. So then you start to fear here. This is where you start to fear up here. So you think, oh, okay, well, no, I need to really go back and then start to communicate again. Oh, okay, well, now it's kind of gone like this, and my vibrations absolutely raised, okay, they're am I unsure and do they want me? You kind of get what I mean, right? Because this can play off in so many patterns, and then you go back and then you end up here and your energy raises, but then you feel codependent and lost because they're kind of contacting you but not, and leaving you unsure and you really don't know, and then you go like this. That's the Tower. That's the same thing. But when you're up here, this is where the ego can start to like break down, because you have to also be caring and sharing and knowing who you are, okay, knowing who you are. So pretty much then is like you can't fear people not wanting you if they go away and they go to the dark with the yes and no and maybe kind of effect. You know, you make an offer and someone says no, or even maybe, or even like I really don't know. Well, you've offered, so you're the masculine, right? You're the masculine. A lot of the feminines, they kind of think, well, that's my masculine and I've got to wait for my masculine, but you were the one that asked them. Well, if you asked them and they denied it and said no, or they said yes but then no, but yes and then no, or well, I really don't know, but just probably on a Monday, really? A masculine is someone that's very caring and sharing and giving, but can do everything, because it's in alignment with himself, okay? Alignment with himself. He has vision, he has depth, he has clarity, he has action. Okay, the Chariot 7, he has action, he knows how to push everything forward. Also the Tower, also all of us 7. Okay, so that means that you're the masculine. Okay, so but you'll only learn that as you start to, because you will always feel that you're the feminine or masculine and getting confused because the ship I'm in has been sinking, and I don't know, and am I codependent, am I not? Are they confusing me, or am I actually confusing myself? You know, the metaphysical connection also gets extremely confusing to shit as well. So, you know, but you have to be in a ship in order to know someone's doing something devious behind your back, because if you're not actually in a ship, well, then you're actually in it on your own, right? So don't get confused with that one. It doesn't matter what you may think or feel that someone may be or may not be doing behind your back if you're not actually in a ship with them. This is what I'm saying. If you've offered once and it's denied, stop offering. But sometimes you have to go through it. So regardless of what I say, you will go through it many times. You know, you will. Because someone has to see your vibration to come up to it to think, you know what? Because this goes off in obviously patterns of 3, you know. But the more you fear and think, okay, well, no, you can't think, oh, well, I'm much better than fucking anybody else, because I'm out here, you know. No, that's like egotistical and everything, you know. That's not the way to be. You've got to have strong boundaries, and you've got to know your vibration. Your vibration of who you really are is fucking everything. It's everything to know who you are. It really is. Because your vibration is what you protect for someone to come to your vibration so you can be great together. Not, well, okay, let's both deal with, not me, let's both deal with second best. Or let's all deal with second best. When we're all first. First the worst, second the best. You know? Nah. You know, it's a race. I was first, you were second. Tag, you're it. You know? Tag. You know. So they have to come, because you've got to come up to your vibration so you can be great together. That was 333 on the clock a second ago. Because so you can be great together to be great for everything that you do. This doesn't have to be everybody, but this can be like what you do on a day-to-day life to be great together. Okay? Because like if you're not both great and you're both low, what's the world, what jobs and opportunities and things that you can be in life going to be? Controlling? Controlling? Down here in the dark? Controlling? Or is it going to be here? You know? But you can't always believe that, wow, this is God, now this is my twin flame, and I feel so, and I've waited for years, and it is, and I feel that they're next to me, and I'm dreaming about them constantly, and it feels so good, but they're not even in my life. That's sacrifice. How long are you going to do that for? How long are you going to sacrifice yourself for one person, which is you're sacrificing yourself as one, for one soul of billions? One soul of billions. That's because your mind's expanded that much. The fact that you just believe in this, that much that you believe that the one is the one. No. No, it's not. We have billions. Your one has to see you as one. So as well as we see everybody as one. But we won't. We will always fight across the world and try to fucking destroy one another. And it's just set as a plan for it to happen. You know. Unless we invent time travel. I've actually been watching a few things on Netflix as well. You know. But yeah, that's kind of, my dog is now going ballistic again, and it just does that for no reason, all the time at the door for no reason. Okay, so at the moment I'm going to leave it there, but I really hope that you enjoyed that one. Okay, I'm going to go on with the rest of the readings. I hope I covered the majority of that, you know, because that's like also psychic vampiring too, you know, because it enters your field of thought. It enters your field of thought where you're going to be thinking. This is like your brain. So it enters your thought process in order to steal. This is why it relates a lot to narcissism. This is why you keep fighting and everything all the time. You know, 5. It's a cycle of 5. It just goes around and around and around and around. Okay, so that can be like cerebral narcissism, where someone's planting themselves into your head that much, but they never do anything about it. Or, well, I mean, it goes off into patterns, and you'll start to worry, think, overanalyze, and just can't get them off my head. They're kind of like more sort of metaphysical kind of connections as well. But the spying stuff and all that kind of stuff, that is also like thought. Okay, like I just can't get this person or this vibration off my mind. You know, I can't. Well, there's a reason for that. Okay, there's a reason for that. But that also goes into like the spying game, because your mind is spying on someone else's mind, where they're spying on you as much as you're spying on one, you know. So then when you get where I've got someone else in my life, but I've also got you of where I'm looking and feeling and thinking and I'm unsure, but I've still got this situation here. Well, that's karma. That's what will go around, come around, okay? That's what goes around, comes around, and it will when you learn to separate your energy of having enough respect for yourself, to realise, well, I know who I am, really. You know, this is me. Who are you? You know, you look yourself in the mirror. Who are you? You know. So people have to see you for you. But as long as you see you for you, you know you are, right? I did actually watch that as well, you. Yeah. Netflix, right? But yeah, because you're always one. You always have to believe yourself as one. You've got to, I mean, I could do loads of stuff for this. But I'm babbling. Okay, but we'll leave that at that. I hope you got a lot from that. Okay, the readings are going to go ahead. If you're interested in all the free? Fuck, I wish. If you're interested in the readings and all that kind of stuff, like a personal reading, it is in the description for you to follow in order to give me an email. But everything is in there. I hope you enjoyed the intro. That took me quite a long, well, took me a little while to make, but I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.